Welcome back, everybody. It's a new look Sports Degenerates Show. It's amazing. I got lights. I got one over there. I got one in the back of the room. I got one above me. It's crazy. Last week I thought about recording with the new lights, but my camera was not handling it. My camera was just as cheap as my lights were, and it was not working. So I got a new camera. It's better. The lights are a little tilted. I'm a little bright. We'll see, but as the weeks go on, we'll work with the lights a little bit, but it looks a lot better than me lost in a cave was looking. That being said, we're cutting it kind of close. It's 5:45 on Thursday. We've got a Thursday night game tonight, and our Thursday night game is my hometown Philadelphia Eagles against the New York Giants. So, like always, we're going to go Week 7 predictions. I'm going to give you my betting predictions. Also, here's my yearly record so far. To date, it's not great. It's 15-12. Rough week last week, kind of 500, little below 500. The week before it was a good bit above 500. We're gonna have a good week this week. Let's start it off. It's the New York Giants, the 1-5 New York Giants. It's the 1-4-1 Philadelphia Eagles. It's the Eagles fighting for first place in the NFC East. If this wasn't the NFC East, literally, urinating tree would be hitting the Tank Bowl music right now. You know, just oh man, it would be Tank Bowl, but it's not because both of these teams are fighting for a division. I'm very sad. Anyway, the Giants will be in Philadelphia tonight, taking on the Eagles. The Eagles are wearing black. That means something. Trust me, the Eagles are incredible in black. They also own the Giants. I know the Eagles still have a lot of injuries. Lane Johnson will be back. I don't know how long he's going to be back for. Deshaun Jackson's back. I don't know how long he's back for. Avonte Maddox is back, which is nice. They're still missing a lot of guys. I'm still going to take the Eagles -4.5. The Eagles in the last 2 weeks have shown promise against the Steelers and the Ravens, which is good. The Giants are not going to show promise. The Giants are terrible. And the Eagles, like I said, own the Giants. They own the Giants in black especially. Take the Eagles -4.5 tonight against the Giants. Take it. By the time this uploads, the game might be kicking off in 35 minutes. Take it. Hurry up. -4.5. It's on FanDuel. Not sponsored by FanDuel. FanDuel, please sponsor me. Moving on, though. We're going to Sunday. We've got the Bills. Nobody circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. They are going to New Jersey to face the New York Jets. And Adam Gase only has a job because Jets ownership really, really, really wants Trevor Lawrence at this point. The Bills are 12-point favorites. I don't think that's enough. I think this is going to be the last week of Adam Gase, quite frankly. I keep saying that every week. Eventually it's going to be right because they're not winning. I'm going to say, yes, this is it for Adam Gase. I think the Bills just wreck the Jets. The Jets' offense is terrible to begin with, and now they're going to have to play that vaunted Bills defense, which is just not going to work out well for them. So, give me the Bills -12. Absolutely, take it. They're going to crush them. Moving on. Panthers at Saints. Panthers are 7.5-point dogs. Panthers are weird to me. Some weeks they show up and they look really well. Other weeks they don't cover the spread, but when they don't cover the spread, they miss it by like a point or two. Right now, they're 7.5-point underdogs. And I would say right now, I think they lose by 7. I do. I don't think the Saints are lighting the world on fire anymore. They have a ton of drama with Michael Thomas. I don't even know if he's playing yet on Sunday, but there's so much drama going on with that. I would take the Panthers +7.5 because I think this game's going to end at 7. I think if you take it at 7, 7.5 is going to hit. Or if you take it at 7.5, 7 is going to be the winning number. The Battle of Ohio. Used to be a terrible game. Now it's not as bad. Bengals are still but the Browns are good against bad teams. The Cleveland Browns are going to Cincinnati. They're going to face off against the Cincinnati Bengals. The Browns are 3.5-point favorites, and I'm going to take them. The Bengals have looked good. The Bengals covered last week against the Colts. Joe Burrow has not looked bad. The Bengals have looked solid most of the season so far. The Browns have looked really good against terrible competition, and when they face good teams, they look horrible. I'm going to take the Browns -3.5. I don't think the Bengals defense is going to be able to hold it. Phillip Rivers lit up the Bengals defense last week. Lit up the Bengals last week. The Browns offense, I think, is going to light them up. They had a bad week. I think they bounced back. Definitely cover the 3.5-point spread. Probably win by about a touchdown. Cowboys at the team with no name. If I told you in week 7 that the Cowboys going to Washington would result in the Cowboys having a 1-point spread, if you say you wouldn't believe me, you'd believe me, I'm calling you a liar. There's no way anybody thought this. This, I believe, is an overreaction. So I made money Monday night on the Cardinals over the Cowboys because I had no idea why the Cowboys were 1-point favorites over the Cardinals. This one is I'm pointing to the spread, by the way. This one is an overreaction. The Cowboys are 1 point better than the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. The Cowboys will win probably by about a touchdown, maybe more. Kyle Allen sucks. He's trash. I'm surprised Alex Smith's not playing at this point. The Cowboys will win this game, especially by more than one. The Cowboys will keep the division for another week until they face off against the Eagles in next week. Yeah, next week, week 8, they face off against the Eagles. That's going to be a nightmare game. Detroit at Atlanta. We have a team that should fire their coach and a team that did fire their coach. And the team that did fire their coach destroyed the Minnesota Vikings last week. Atlanta's going to win this game. Atlanta's 2-point favorites, and I'm taking them for more. It's going to be a game with no defense. I'd also take the over. I actually don't know what the over is. I'm going to look that up real fast because that is an over that has to hit. Detroit, Atlanta, neither one really is a good defense. Offensively, they're both powerhouses. So you got to think that when these two teams play, they're going to score. Naturally, it'll probably be a 7-3 game. Over 54.5, take it. There's going to be 8 touchdowns scored in that game. Absolutely. So take that. I would take Atlanta -2. I would also take the over 54.5. The Falcons, and if there's any Atlanta fans watching this, I'm sorry to tell you this. You guys are going to screw yourselves again. You know that, right? Like, you guys can't even lose right. Last year, they were 2-7 or 2-9 and went on a 5-game winning streak, kept Dan Quinn's job, and ended up getting like the 16th or 17th pick in the draft. They ruined their whole offseason, only to come back, choke out on like 3 straight games, get Dan Quinn fired, and now you guys are going to start winning again. Maybe you can make a run at that last wild card spot. I doubt it, but hey, maybe. You have the offense for it. Your offense is just too good to let your team suck. The Lions, they still have Matt Patricia. That's all I need to say. Matt Patricia is the next coach that, well, besides Adam Gase, the next coach that needs to get fired. So, give me the Falcons and the over 54.5. The Packers going to Houston with Romeo Crennel. The Packers are 3.5-point favorites over the Texans. This is another overreaction. Take the Packers. Aaron Rodgers had a bad week last week. He had a horrible week against Green Bay. I lost money on that game because I was like, Green Bay's killing everybody. They're running the gauntlet. They look like there's no stopping them. They got destroyed. They looked horrible. You know what's going to happen if Rodgers has a bad game. Rodgers is coming right back and just winning. So, absolutely take Rodgers. Take the Pack. -3.5. I believe it. The Texans have no defense. They just have no defense. It's just not going to work out well for them. Steelers at Titans. This one's a good game. This is a really good game. Steelers are going to Tennessee. Steelers are 1.5-point underdogs. So the Titans are the 1.5-point favorites. I'd take the Steelers. I honestly would. And the biggest reason why is because the Titans need to impose their will on the ground game. The Steelers, I think, might have the best run defense in the NFL. Take the Steelers. I think it's going to be on Ryan Tannehill to win this game. And Ryan Tannehill is a good quarterback. Not that good. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. But I would take the Steelers plus 1.5 especially. But I would take the Steelers outright if you felt comfortable enough. Maybe you sneak away with the 1 point. Some people say 1.5 point. Does it really matter? Hey, the team formerly known as the Redskins covered for me last week for going for 2 at the end of the game. So Steelers plus 1.5. But if you're really feeling it and want a little extra money in your pocket, take the Steelers outright. Moving on, 4 o'clock. We've got 2 Pirates going at it. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Bruce Arians going to Las Vegas to take on John Gruden and the Oakland Raiders. I'm really excited for this game. Knock on wood if you're with me. That'll never get old, Gruden. Ever. It's that will continue to grow like John Gruden's stomach. Anyway, I would take the Bucs. The Bucs are -4, so the Bucs are 4-point favorites here. This is another one too. I wrote the over for this one. 52 points, big over, big over. The Raiders' offense is insane this year. Their defense is hot garbage, which makes out for a lot of overs hitting fast too. They'll score this fast, and then the defense lets the other team go right down the field and score. I absolutely would take it. The over 52, but the Bucs -4, absolutely. The Raiders. It's a war of attrition with the Raiders. They just score and score and score. They're hoping that eventually their defense does something, or the clock runs out, with them constantly scoring. The Buccaneers are just they're just going to be too good. I think the Bucs defense is going to hold better than the Raiders defense does, and the Bucs defense will hold this out. It's also in a dome. Dome games always score more. So Buccaneers -4. I think Brady rips apart that defense as well as Bruce Arians. It's two aired out offenses as well. They throw the ball a lot. So Bucs -4 over 52. Absolutely. The now back in their tank Jacksonville Jaguars going to Los Angeles to face off against the Chargers. So here's the funny thing. The Jaguars early in the season, I was like, hey, the Jaguars might be the team to bet on. They might be like the last year's Dolphins where they're tanking, but they're covering. They're not covering anymore. They have just fallen apart, and now they're doing things the right way. They're tanking correctly. They saw what the Jets were doing, and they're like, oh, damn, we got to really suck. So now they're back to sucking. They got embarrassed last week by the Lions. The Chargers are a much better team than the Lions. The Chargers are a really good team that just keep losing close games. They find new and exciting ways to lose. That 0.5 is iffy. So the Chargers are 7.5-point favorites, and that's a little sketchy. I always hate 7.5. It's just like when the over/under is 56.5 or 49.5. It's that extra point that you're not getting. That being said, I think the Chargers really get it together. I think Justin Herbert, Air Bear's been lighting it up. He's looked really good. I was actually completely wrong. I figured he'd just be like an average quarterback. He's looked really good at the rookie quarterbacks. He's arguably looked better than Joe Burrow. Granted, he has a better team, but he doesn't look bad. Looks actually excellent. It looks like a great pick for the Chargers. I would take the Chargers -7.5. I think Justin Herbert gets his marquee just blow a team out win. He has some fun on this one. Go to Mile High. Got the Chiefs at the Broncos. Drew Lock is back for the Chiefs. Or for the Broncos. Le'Veon Bell continues to play for the Chiefs now. He'll have a bigger role. The Chiefs are 9.5-point favorites. And the Broncos against the Patriots defense last week, they moved up and down the field pretty well. They just kicked 6 field goals, which is crazy. 6 field goals is not going to cut it against the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs -9.5. Take it. It's just not going to work out well for the Broncos. The Chiefs' high-powered offense is going to force the Broncos to have to try to respond to that, and it's just not going to work. I think Drew Lock's still going to try to get into his rhythm. I kind of feel bad for Drew Lock. He came into the year expecting to have a really good sophomore year, but he's still only a second-year quarterback who only started like 6 games last year. So it still takes him a minute to get going. And now what you're seeing is early in the season he got injured right away. Now he's got to try to catch up, and his struggles a little bit because now defenses are set. So I think it's going to take Drew Lock a couple weeks to get back into the flow of things. And that's just not a good matchup for a team like the Chiefs who score a ton. So Chiefs -9.5, absolutely. Last of the 4 o'clock games, we got the San Francisco 49ers going to New England to face the New England Patriots. Here's the thing. The Patriots are 2.5-point favorites, okay? They played terribly last week against the Broncos. Normally, for years, if the Patriots played terrible, right, there was little doubt I was betting on them the following week because just Brady, Belichick, boom, ready to go. We're getting it back in action. It's just not there. Their offense is just horrible. Their offense is terrible. Cam's running like 15 times a game. He's really not throwing the ball at all. Nobody's open. So the 49ers are 2.5-point underdogs, and I would absolutely take the 2.5 underdogs because the 49ers looked great last week against the Rams. Not only that, take the 49ers outright. I don't understand why they're underdogs here. Take the Niners outright. I just don't think Cam and the Patriots are going to be able to contain them again. I think they're just going to lose. And it helps. I'd say, how long till Cam gets benched? Well, not, because we saw what Brian Hoyer and Jarrett Stidham did. It wasn't good. So, Patriots are going to be drafting the quarterback this year. Interesting. Probably draft one like the 5th round too, and it'll work out. It'll be like, the Patriots need a quarterback. And like they'll have like the 8th pick in the draft, and like all the quarterbacks, Trevor Lawrence will be gone, Trey Lance will be gone, Sam Howell will be gone. Who'd be left? I don't know. But there'll probably be like one quarterback that I'm definitely forgetting about right now that would be like really good, and he wouldn't take him like number 4 overall or number 8 overall. Like maybe Justin Fields, just won't take him. And then all of a sudden, it'll be like round 5, and he'll draft like Anthony Russo out of Temple, and Russo just magically becomes this amazing quarterback because Belichick. Anyway, got off on a tangent there. Moving to Sunday Night Football. We got the Seattle Seahawks going to the desert and facing the Arizona Cardinals. I'm taking the Seahawks -3.5. So here's an issue that I have with what we saw on Monday night. The Cardinals destroyed the Cowboys, right? Just wrecked them. Kyler Murray had a horrible game. Look at his passing. He was terrible. I think he was like 9 for 24. Terrible. 4 turnovers by the Cowboys, and Kenyon Drake running wild is what changed that game, as well as one pass to Christian Kirk that he just took off for 80 yards or whatever. I would take Seattle -3.5 here. Seattle sometimes likes to lay an egg, especially Seahawks laying an egg, no pun intended. Seattle likes to lay an egg sometimes, especially against divisional opponents. Sometimes they get in their division and you just it's a head scratcher of like, what are you doing? Like, what in the hell are you guys doing? But I think this one, defensively, they're going to make it tough for Kyler. And their offense, Russell Wilson, the Cardinals' defense is good. I don't think it's that good. I think Russell Wilson's going to have a good game. Those receivers are going to light it up. I would take Seattle -3. Seattle -3.5. And then finally, Monday Night Football. We've got the battle of the quarterbacks that literally do not move. We got the Chicago Bears, who are winning strictly on luck and nothing more, versus the Los Angeles Rams, who were looking good, then they looked horrible. Then they were looking good again, then they just got dump trucked by San Francisco. I'm going to take the Bears +6, and here's the reason why. Eventually, you got to stop thinking logically and just take the team that's just being lucky. And they're just being lucky. The Bears continue to just get lucky on this. Foles has had good career numbers against the Rams. I mean, I'm an Eagles fan. I know every time you play the Rams, you do well. So I would take the Bears +6 as well. I don't know if the Bears win this game, but I would definitely take them +6. If you feel a little bit more confident in the Bears, that maybe I would take them outright. The more I think about it, the more I actually would take them outright. And the only reason I say this is Jared Goff is not good. I'll go to my grave believing that. Sean McVay's offense makes Jared Goff passable as a starting quarterback. When he plays against top defenses, he struggles. Desperately struggles. The Bears have a top defense. Their defense is what really holds on in these games. And I think they're going to cause just a nightmare for Jared Goff. And so I would absolutely take the Bears +6. But again, if you're looking, maybe you had a good Sunday. Maybe, Thursday, Sunday, you had a really good game. Maybe even some Saturday you're betting. You got the Big Ten back. I'll have a video on that by tomorrow. But you got these games set up. Eventually you got to think like, oh, okay, you got a little bit of money. You won some games. Throw it on the Bears outright. It's +6, so outright they're probably looking around like +250 maybe. About that. Take that money. Take that free money and run with it. So those are my bets for the week. As I say in every episode, when I do, I just kicked my mic stand or my camera stand. Whoops. As I say in every week or in every video, I bet on all of these games. Everything I just told the camera, as everything I just told you people, I'm going to bet on. That's how I roll. I bet on every game. Okay? So when I say, I'm not just saying it like empty words, like, yeah, it's just, you bet on it. Trust me, I'm some guy on the internet. I also bet on these games. I bet on every one of these games. So, take it for what it's worth. Please like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. Maybe there's a game I'm not, I'm missing. You're not a big fan of what I'm saying here. No, there's no way. This is why this team's going to cover this defense. I'm all ears. I'm always interested to hear what other people have to say. Follow me on Instagram at sports_degenerate_show. The link will be in the description below. My name will be somewhere on probably about right here. Yeah, about right there. I gotta watch where I put my arm because it's white and it doesn't show. But I'm Frank Wible. This is the Sports Degenerates Show. We've got a nice camera now. We've got nice lights. I'm really excited. And as always, thank you all for stopping by.